In life, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And the journey I've embarked upon with my friends has been nothing short of amazing. It's been terrifying. It's been crazy. It's been sad. It's been disappointing and rewarding at the same time. It's been one hell of a ride. And we're about to do it. One last time.
Kick the tires, light the fires on this one. We are go.
The final episode of the Russell Rush Haunted Tour, October 28th. For the past 12 years, the Russell Rush Haunted Tour has investigated some of the most intense paranormal activity in South Texas. From personal attacks to spine-tingling moments that left us speechless. These are the 10 most terrifying moments in Haunted Tour history that prove once and for all that ghosts are real.
No!
Our list begins with one of the most haunted bars in San Antonio, Texas.
Pattos was a really cool investigation.
Anytime we can investigate a bar is good with me.
That was actually my first investigation with the team.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. I'm already scared.
Pattos was also a big one in Haunted Tour history because that's where we met Jack, who now runs our command.
Yeah, he's the big scaredy cat.
There was actually a lot going on there, which shouldn't be a big surprise since it's directly across from the Alamo.
What people don't realize is because it's a bar, we only had access to the building from 2 to 5 a.m., so we kind of had to spread it out over 2 nights, which could explain the activity.
Late into the second night, Vanessa and I were investigating on the second floor when we started hearing things.
We heard a piano playing. It was loud enough that I thought for sure Bobby was messing with us.
The Briar Suite on the second floor was the only room with a piano, so we rushed over there. Hey! When I slid open the pocket door of that room, I could still hear, it wasn't just a note, it was like a chord. Hey!
It was incredible.
That was one of my most awesome memories of Haunted Tour. Hey!
The Spanish Governor's Palace dates back to the 1700s. It may be the oldest building downtown.
This place is from the time they used to entomb people in the walls.
To me, it was a sad place.
There were a lot of executions here. The first thing we do on any investigation is go lights out. This being such an old building, not all the wiring was tied together with switches, so we just shut the main breaker off.
The lights still came on.
Holy crap. I'm just standing there asking them to turn the flashlight on the bed, and the wall light pops on.
There was no power to the building.
I remember we were all freaked out, and we went around and removed every light bulb in the building.
They still found a way to mess with our electronics.
Late into the night, we were focused on investigating a bedroom that people had seen a little girl in, so I broke out the PX. The PX is similar to the Ovilus. It's from the same company, and it kind of is able to turn electromagnetic fields into words.
What's the hell? All of a sudden, the voice changes.
It's like someone had taken over the PX.
Sounds like I hate you. Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't super concerned until it started speaking in full sentences, in reverse mode, I might add.
Are you out here?
Why are you out here? Did you hear that?
Turn the light out.
Turn the light out.
I was like, holy crap.
I've never had that happen before.
Turn the light out.
Russell drags us to a lot of interesting places. With church.
Honestly, we probably needed it.
Frank had some really interesting history. It was the first integrated church in San Antonio, which led to cross burnings out front. It was a dinner theater, a restaurant, and a bar, and now home to a little kid ghost.
Little Eddie. So behind the scenes info, the little boy that played Little Eddie is my son.
The investigation that night started out slow.
During one of the later rotations, Daryl, Joey, and I went down to the basement, and we just started hearing noises.
You heard it? Yeah, I heard it.
Are you in here?
We hear a noise in the corner, and we go over there, and then the noise happened just right where we were.
It really felt like we were chasing a kid around the building.
We went upstairs to the bar area, and that's when things got really intense.
Normally our production crew is just there observing. They don't interfere with the investigation at all, but that night they were so freaked out, they started directing us.
And that's when it happened.
I just heard it right here again.
God. Something just tugged on my shirt.
Really?
Your shirt right now?
I was just standing there, then all of a sudden I felt a tug. No one was there because I thought the cameraman was tugging on me to do something.
You can literally see his shirt get yanked down.
You know, we always kid Daryl about wearing the same shirt at every investigation, so who knows? Maybe little Eddie was getting in on the fun.
If I had to rate that as far as my paranormal experiences that I've been through, that's number one.
The ghost town of Helena is by far my favorite investigation. Some of these places you just go to and get a feeling that you can't shake.
That one did a number on me.
Helena is just overwhelming with all the activity there.
Just looking at the Ruckman house will make you want to turn around and leave.
You're dealing with a ghost town full of outlaws that, by definition, aren't good.
This is one of the meanest, toughest places in the Old West.
All that and the talk of some demonic activity.
Do people come in here and say that there's like demonic stuff here or what?
This was the first investigation where I think we all realized how dangerous this really was.
I'm never ready for any of this, but at that time, I was not mentally prepared for all of that.
When we got there, we realized the situation was more dire than we thought when Barry told us about his ex-wife who still lives in Helena.
The ghosts in Helena hate her and threaten to kill her.
It's never a good sign when a spirit calls out someone like they did Lydia.
This was the first investigation where I think we all realized how dangerous this really was.
I'm never ready for any of this, but at that time, I was not mentally prepared for all of that.
When we got there, we realized the situation was more dire than we thought when Barry told us about his ex-wife who still lives in Helena.
The ghosts in Helena hate her and threaten to kill her.
It's never a good sign when a spirit calls out someone like they did Lydia, but I never really was that worried about it until something happened to me.
This was serious.
As we went through the night, we experienced a lot of activity, but nothing stood out about the night.
Until we got home, reviewed the evidence, and caught the EVP.
And just being on the land was creepy. It's creepy.
Get mommy.
It's creepy.
In reviewing the audio evidence, I think that I was just in a state of shock.
It's pretty amazing when you can substantiate the claims that you were told about.
The ranch was the first residential case we ever took on.
There was a lot of disagreement over whether to take the case or not.
This nearly tore the team apart.
I was concerned about us making a TV show out of a residential case because I'm not sure that we can actually help them. We can investigate and see what we get, but that might make things worse for them.
This family had really been through the ringer.
Essentially, the family had to abandon their house due to severe paranormal activity. We're talking things being thrown around the house, people being held down in bed.
The last thing you want to do is not find any kind of evidence and make these people feel like they're crazy.
Once I met the family, though, there was just no turning back.
You're my last hope to try to get her back.
We went in there and took over the entire ranch for several days.
The family didn't feel safe anywhere, especially on the second floor. Nobody wanted to go up there.
Except you. That's where you chose for us to sleep for the weekend.
So the family said that they used to see out of the corner of their eye a shadow sneak around the wall and go up the stairs.
We caught a lot of stuff at the ranch, but nothing upstairs until we got home and reviewed the cameras.
I'm watching, and then I see this black figure moving around the wall and up the stairs.
We captured exactly what they had seen.
It was unbelievable. There it goes. Around the wall and up the stairs.
You just see it walk up step by step.
I still get chills when I see that.
And to think whatever that was up there watching us sleep.
The ranch was pretty intense. My only regret is that we couldn't get the family back home. I must have investigated Yorktown hundreds of times.
It's one of our favorite places.
Voices, shadow people, full body apparitions, balls of UV energy.
Being investigated there for so many years, there's no telling what was brought in or has been opened up.
We've actually featured Yorktown several times on the show. It never disappoints.
The feeling at Yorktown Hospital is pretty intimidating. It makes you feel like you don't need to be going in there.
On our very first visit to Yorktown Memorial Hospital, it was right when the hospital had opened up for investigation.
The team was gathered in the delivery room around one of the original gurneys.
They captured this blood-curdling scream.
You see them talking amongst themselves, not even reacting to anything. They didn't even hear it until they reviewed their evidence. I've always wondered about that scream. To me, it's like some residual haunting of a woman who maybe died in childbirth. Our documentary of the murder in room 636 at the Gunter Hotel is my pride and joy. That's the story that I've been wanting to tell for over a decade.
It's San Antonio's biggest unsolved mystery.
50 years after the murder, this was in 2015, we approached the hotel and they were all on board. We set up shop. We essentially had our own office on the 6th floor.
We had complete unfettered access.
Especially to present-day room 620 and 621 that were room 636.
For 3 nights, we investigated both rooms nonstop.
The murder in room 636 is by far the most gruesome murder in San Antonio history. A man takes a woman up to his room, kills her, no body's ever found, no evidence other than gallons and gallons of blood.
The aftermath photos are disturbing.
For years, people had been reporting activity that could be paranormal on the 6th floor.
They believe the alleged murderer, Walter Emmerich, is still there.
Guillermo, who had been researching this for years, warned us about Walter, but we didn't take him serious enough.
Night after night, things just kept amping up until that final night when things came to a head with Daryl and Kendra.
We started asking Walter some really tough questions that he didn't like.
That might have been somebody's mother.
Did that make you feel powerful? To hurt somebody that was weaker than you?
All of a sudden, I felt this burning sensation on my arm.
I get up to look, and sure enough, there are giant red marks on Kendra's arm.
What the
Look right there.
You see it? Almost like this is what it felt like somebody grabbed me and pinched me. Ow. Kind of burns.
You piece of
I was in the room that night, and upon seeing that his wife has been attacked, Daryl erupts into a fit of rage.
Come over here and do that to me, that's my wife.
Walter's anger overtaking us is exactly what we've been warned about.
Producers made the decision to pull us out and end the investigation.
That whole weekend at the jail was pretty rough on Russell.
I got a speeding ticket. I kept getting locked in jail. Oh, come on. Seriously, it was one ticket. Did I mention that Joey left me alone and flew to Vegas for the weekend? I should have just went home right then and there.
I'm glad we had something to laugh about initially, because as the night went on, things got pretty serious.
This jail is an amazing piece of history.
But it's got a pretty dark past.
There were some questionable deaths at the jail, not to mention some deputies who died in the line of duty who also may still be there.
I think there's something more than the obvious going on here because of what some people have seen.
All of a sudden there was this big looming dark mass, the biggest, darkest mass I've ever seen.
As we started the investigation that night, I called out to Ben, who was running command, and was basically like, hey man, F everybody else, you're watching me tonight, I'm alone.
Tonight, it's me and you, man.
You want my eyes through this, alright? So if you see something,
Keep an eye on me, alright?
I got you.
When you're alone investigating, things seem to be drawn to you, almost as if your fear is an energy source that they can feed off of.
I was a little bit worried.
I can't explain it, but all night I was drawn to this room that was down that dark hallway.
Oof, I hated that hallway.
Something told me I need to go in that room, and I stupidly, being alone, take the camera on the tripod and put it right in the doorway. That was my first mistake.
The rest of us are scattered all over the jail, oblivious to Russell's situation.
As I called out to whatever was in the room,
Truce right now, alright?
I started to feel dizzy. I could barely stand. I realized this isn't safe, but I've also trapped myself in the room with the camera right in the doorway. At that moment, in my weakest state, something tries to push me down to the ground. I stumbled, but gathered myself, and then luckily had my walkie in my hand so that I could radio for help.
The minute that call came in, I knew he was in trouble. Are you shaking?
I probably.
When we found Russell, he was sweating profusely, breathing heavy, and shaking.
After they got him out, I went to go see him. He didn't know where he was at.
Daryl told me I sat out there for about an hour, shaking. I don't remember any of it.
I can freely admit that Big Al's bar was one of the most surprising investigations we've ever done.
I don't think anybody on the team actually wanted to do it. I mean, Al's a prankster, right? I thought for sure we were being had.
Well.
My man!
What's up?
Russell Rush, how you doing, brother?
But still, a chance to hang out with Big Al? Who wouldn't?
The bar is located in Waxahachie, Texas, which is already a well-known haunted area.
The building is one of the oldest on the square.
The staff reported all sorts of things. I mean, glasses falling, hearing a man's voice, somebody clearing their throat.
But again, it's a bar. You never know.
This is one of the first investigations where we used Daryl and Kendra's portal.
So the portal is an ITC device that scans radio frequencies, and spirits can talk through the white noise.
We turned on the portal, and it was like the floodgates opened.
Messing?
What are you yellow?
It said, I am yellow.
This thing was talking like crazy.
Do you know where you are?
Dead?
No way. I think we all thought it was pretty cool until the voice on the other side threatened Joe.
Can you come touch this device in my hand?
I was investigating a noise in the kitchen, and the voice says, "You'll be dead." So I got the hell out of there.
Listen, devices like this are cool, but you have no idea what you're dealing with from the other side.
Who'll be dead?
I don't know. It just said they'll be dead.
Getting to investigate Six Flags Fiesta Texas was really cool.
I used to work there, and even I didn't know all these stories.
The team at the Zaragoza Theater had been seeing things for years.
First thing I thought of, this being a theme park and all this electrical equipment, this could be a fear cage.
Or give a ghost energy to manifest.
I just remember how cold it was in that theater, so feeling cold spots was out of the question.
We're investigating, going through rotations, picking up little things here or there, but not that big moment we were all hoping for.
It's late in the night, so we all gathered around the stage for one final session.
You can see all the equipment scattered on the floor.
I think the staff from the park was just hoping we'd call it quits.
Jell starts using the obelisk, and it calls out Daryl's name.
It kept saying, "Daryl up."
Up.
So I headed up to the balcony.
As we were all looking up, Mike, our editor and director of photography, was pointing his camera at Jell on the stage.
Eye up.
Eye up. Out.
The ghost meter just slid across the floor.
The thing is, nobody saw it when it happened.
Russell calls me days later at 2 a.m. yelling, "We got it! We got it!"
There is no explanation for that equipment moving.
If that doesn't make you a believer, I don't know what will.